Welcome to my first ever playground accessibility review. Today we are at Ashton Trailhead in Sarasota because every child deserves to play. Our first criteria is parking and pathways. There was one accessible parking spot and it was located on the complete other side of the parking lot. So you either had to walk through the lot or on the pathway, and even though it was paved, it was curbed and it was not very wide. Unless you got a spot up front, you had this nice flat entrance, so overall parking and pathways gets a 4 out of 9. Next, we have playground surface. This playground surface was all AstroTurf and it was very smooth and completely flat, which would make it perfect for someone who has a hard time with balance or someone in a wheelchair. So for playground surface, it gets a 6 out of 6. Next, we have playground structures. This was the only ramp on the entire playground and it is only for the zip line. Other than that, you have to climb to be able to use any of these playground structures. And anything at ground level as far as interactive play was this. They did have this adaptive swing, which was nice, but overall it gets a 3 out of 9 for play structures. Sensory features. This was really the only tactile features. There wasn't anything musical and there weren't any visual or signboards for children who have communication needs. But there were some nice, quiet, shaded areas, so overall sensory features gets a 2 out of 9. Social and inclusive design. They do have two separate areas that are separated by age, but not necessarily ability, because again, there aren't any ramps. Everything you have to be able to climb. There are some spots for caregivers to sit, but they're not very wheelchair accessible, but the entire park is fenced in with only one entry point, giving this criteria a 7 out of 9. Restrooms and amenities. They do have an accessible bathroom. It's very large, but it was a little bit of a walk from the main park, but it wasn't bad. There was a changing table, and I like that they had these stability bars. The water fountains are also accessible, but not so much if you want to fill up your water bottle because that was a little bit higher. There are several different picnic areas, and there are also grills, which is really nice. So for restrooms and amenities, we're giving this a 7 out of 9. For our overall experience, the lack of just accessibility and inclusion does not make it feel very welcoming. It is definitely very well maintained and clean, but overall, this gets a 4 out of 9. The Ashton Trailhead Park is getting an accessibility rating of 33 out of 60. It is only 55% accessible, so it's getting 2 out of 5 stars. Make sure you follow me to see where we go next.